Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. And also follow all of the information that's down in the description box. And this is my review for the Soul Train 2019 Awards. I have to say, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I actually enjoyed last year better, but this year definitely there was a lot of good music and a lot of performances that I liked. So first, I'm going to talk about the red carpet. The red carpet was hosted by Ray J, Claudia Jordan, and June Ambrose. And Ray J is about to have another child. Him and Princess was there with their daughter, and he's expecting his second child in January. So shout out to Ray J. And they also gave out an award during the red carpet. It was the certified award for all of the indie artists, and Trevor Jackson won that. I'm a huge fan of Trevor Jackson as an actor and as a performer, so shout out to him for winning that award. Also, Donnell Jones had performed during the red carpet, as well as Jack James, so that was cool. Now, the opening of the Soul Train Awards gave me life because they pretty much said that this is the first annual Soul Train Ball. And not only did Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold show out, but they brought out my girl MJ Rodriguez Oppose, and you know she balls down. And I was so happy that they are giving, that they're giving the light to the LGBTQ community, and due to the fact that Pose, definitely won some Emmys. Shout out to Billy Porter, who won Best Actor. The LGBT is now being seen in a new light, and I was so happy that MJ came out there and she did her thing, tens across the board. I was so here for that. And they were also doing medleys from Janet Jackson songs because, tonight, one of the highlights of the Soul Train Awards was that they were honoring Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with the Legend Award. And these guys are legends. I mean, so much music that they have done over their decades of being in the business. And these guys are legends, and I was so happy that they finally honored them. Another person that I'm glad they honored with the Lady of Soul Award, the great Yolanda Adams. I mean, I'm such a huge fan of Yolanda Adams. My Uncle Roy, God rest his soul, was a huge fan of hers. One of the first songs I've heard from Yolanda Adams was this song that she did with Ben Tankard called You Bring Out the Best in Me, which was like a gospel jazz song. And I was Yolanda Adams' friend from that moment on. And I think I first time heard that song when I was around 9 or 10 years old. So, Yolanda Adams has been around for quite some time. She's not only a great, gospel powerhouse vocalist, but she does jazz and does contemporary music, and she's amazing. And definitely, she definitely deserved the Lady of Soul Award, and her performance was one of the highlights of the night for me. And let's see. Also, some of the highlights from the award show was Best R&B Soul Female went to her. A big fan of her as well. I even have some of her songs on my playlist. And I thought it was funny that Keisha Cole and Tank were the presenters of her award, and Keisha Cole kind of was like, Tank, everybody want to know what's good with what's going on, Tank. Won't you talk to the people, because everybody want to know, because Tank had made this comment that if a man gives a guy oral sex, he's not considered gay, and he kind of said it the same way, but said that if two dictionaries get together, doesn't mean that they have a library. And I was just like, Tank, you just need to stop. But I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was cute. And I also liked how Tashina Arnold kept messing with Sinclair Walls, and every time you turn around, one point she was sitting on his lap and was flirting with him. It was hilarious because Cinco Walls is a good looking brother. He's the brother that's playing Don Cornelius on American Soul, which season 2 will premiere in April, and I'm so looking forward to that. And I haven't forgotten about the further reviews of season 1. I will be doing that before season 2 premieres, so be on the lookout for that. Also, Sir had a good performance. I love that. K. Michelle did a great performance. She, did a remake of Can You Stand the Rain, another great classic written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And she did a great performance. And also, Issa Rae had introduced one of her new artists on her label Radio. And her name is Timar with 3 R's. And she's originally from Haiti, and I thought her performance was great. Let's see. Okay. And then also another performance I loved was a Tiana Major 9 and Earth Gang. They did the song Collide, which is part of this new movie directed by Lena Waithe called Queen and Slim. They even show commercials of it. It looks like it's going to be a really good story. But the performance was everything, and the song was beautiful. It's a beautiful performance. Also, Kirk Franklin won the Best Gospel Inspiration Award, and his acceptance speech really spoke to me. It really tugged at my heartstrings, where he was saying that sometimes when you're a creative person, you wonder why it takes so long. It's because you got to think about it. Do you want to be a microwave dinner, or do you want to be a Sunday dinner, where mama, starts cooking it Saturday night and you marinate it and you take your time? So that definitely spoke to me as an artist too. So that was a very great acceptance speech. So shout out to Kirk Franklin. And he also presented Yolanda Adams with the Lady of Soul Award. And they also did another tribute to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They brought out Boys to Men, who did a great job. But the one that really stole the show in that moment was Stokely Carmichael. Because Stokely Carmichael is a dynamic vocalist, and Stokely has gotten better with age. I mean, he sung down, and I was like, yes, you can't mess with Stokely. You can't mess with Stokely, man. And I was so happy that, Stokely did Pretty Brown Eyes, because that was another tune that was written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I mean, there's a lot of great music that these brothers touch that are just timeless, and we're still rocking to them today. And they also did Tender Love, which, which a song that they wrote and produced for the Force MDs. So yes, it was great. And then also the cast of The Oval, the ones who play Victoria and Jason and Gail, they had presented an award for Best New Artist, which went to Summer Walker. And you can definitely tell she has very strong anxiety issues. But I really hope that this sister really does overcome it, and that she's able to channel it, because she's such a phenomenal talent. But anxiety is a really serious condition, and I really hope and pray that Summer can work through it, because she's a very nervous person when she gets around people. And there are a lot of artists who suffer from anxiety and stage fright. But I was really proud that she won Best New Artist. And again, I hope that everything works out for her. Also, I loved Wale and Jeremiah's performance, and also Kelly Price came out, and their performance was about Black excellence, and I truly enjoyed it. I mean, they were really giving honor and giving honor and praise to some of the greats, who have accomplished things in movies, television, you name it. And the actual screen in the back, they was showing so many, Academy Award winners, Grammy winners, Emmy winners, NAACP image winners. And it was great that, we need to start celebrating each other and celebrating our craft, and that the Soul Train Awards is mainly celebrating R&B and soul, and we have to keep R&B and soul alive, because R&B and soul gave birth to hip hop. It gave birth to disco and everything. You know, R&B and soul is the mothership, and we can't let the R&B and soul genre die. Also, Pink Sweats, who was also nominated for Best New Artist, he did a phenomenal performance. I love his voice, and he was definitely doing his thing. Also, the Soul Cipher, which is like one of my favorite parts of the Soul Train Awards. Of course, they brought back, you know, the mothership, Erica Badu. She was doing her spins, and this year they brought Carl Thomas. I mean, I bought that emotional album and I played it out, child. I'm a big Carl Thomas fan. They brought out Carl Thomas. They brought out Keisha Cole, Leandra Johnson. I'm so glad that she was a part of it. And then they also brought out Anthony Hamilton, and they delivered and they shut it down. Uh, and then also Yolanda Adams, when she, you know, did her performance after accepting her Lady of Soul award, she did a lot of medleys of her songs. I Got the Victory, Open Up My Heart, Someone Watching Over You, Be Blessed, a song that was written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I didn't even know they wrote that song, but I was like, wow. You know, they have touched so many different genres. I mean, these brothers are amazing. And then also The Battle Is Not Yours. So that was a great moment. Another great performance I loved was Luke James, BJ the Chicago Kid, and Ro James. They did a performance of Luke James' song "All for You," which is going to be on his album, which is going to be released in 2020. And I'm happy that my boy Luke James is doing this thing. I mean, he's a phenomenal talent, and he's still, you know, doing his thing in music. So this was the first time that he performed his own music on the Soul Train Award stage. But you know, Luke James never disappoints. And then when he had Ro James and BJ the Chicago Kid, it just made the performance even better. I thought it was a good one. Also, Babyface presented Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with the Legend Award. When they got up there, they mentioned the people who inspired them and who helped them along the way. One being Prince, Leon Silver, and Gamble and Huff. And I think they did a great acceptance speech. And then they brought out the tribute part, to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And the first act, they brought out Sounds of Blackness. Now, this is where I started to have issues, because I really felt that Am Nesby was doing too much. I love Am Nesby. I love her voice. She's a phenomenal talent. You know, she was one of the main voices of Sounds of Blackness. But it just seemed to me that she was just doing a whole bunch of hollering, a whole bunch of belting in places where it wasn't necessary. And I felt she was trying to drown out the other two ladies that were singing with her. You know, because they did my song Optimistic. That's a part of my playlist. And I definitely play that song a lot when I'm down and out. You know, that's a song that keeps me going. You know, you can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Real talk. But the thing is, like, Ann Nesby, I felt was literally just hollering throughout the thing, and it really started to piss me off. She was doing too much. And then they brought out the SOS band. You know, they did Just Be Good to Me and Tell Me That You Still Care. Yes, they did their thing. And then they brought out, Sherelle and Alexander O'Neal doing Saturday Love. You know, one of my favorite tunes from Sherelle is I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. That's on my playlist too. And definitely Alexander O'Neal. You know, they've done a lot of work with him, with what's the name of the song? Freak. You know, that was their jam. That was a jam that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did for him, and it was cool seeing them come out, do their thing. And then they brought out Morris Day and Jerome, and they shut it down. And it was good seeing Morris, because Morris definitely has been making his rounds, and he's somewhat making a comeback. And it's good to see that Morris still got it. And they did the whole mirror thing. I was so here for it. I was like, yes, that's what's up. And even at the end, Ann Nesby made me so mad. I wanted to kick her in her throat. I'm like, girl, why are you belting like that? I mean, I'm a big singer myself, but there's times where you you just can't just be hollering and screaming all the time. And I just felt that Aunt Nesby was doing too much. I think that she may have been just so excited for the moment, or she just wanted to be seen. It was one or the other. And she was just doing the most. And I was like, girl, all that's not necessary. But other than that, it was a good show this year. I felt Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell were more funnier last year than this year, but I do love their chemistry, and throughout the show they definitely were on their P's and Q's. So I was really happy that they brought them back, because I love Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. I mean, for me, they're like the black version of Lucille Ball and Vivian Vance. They know how to play well off of each other. But yes, I really thought last year was a lot better, but this year was what it was, and I had some moments. But get down in those comments and let me know what were your highlights and what did you think of this year's awards. So that's what I have, y'all. So until next time, take care.